Former two-division champion Murjon Akhmadaliev stood before the cameras with the calm posture of a man who has spent years in the fire of big fights, yet there was an unmistakable edge in his voice. He spoke of respect, that sacred code in boxing, and how too much of it can dull the blade of a hungry challenger. In this sport, he began, you bow to no one. You acknowledge greatness, yes, but you never let it cloud your purpose. The subject, inevitably, was Naoya Inoue, the Japanese superstar whose speed and power have left divisions trembling. Akhmadaliev acknowledged Inoue's accomplishments with a slight nod. He is a champion, a pound-for-pound name, he said, but when I see some fighters looking at him, I see them already beaten before the first punch is thrown. His eyes narrowed, a quiet storm gathering. That, he continued, is the mistake. That is the poison. Excessive respect is another word for fear. He leaned forward on the podium, making sure every reporter caught the weight of his words. I have watched men stare across the ring and forget their own strengths. They admire the aura instead of attacking the body. The Uzbek fighter shook his head. Boxing does not reward admiration, he said. It rewards action. He recounted moments in the gym when sparring partners, aware of his own reputation, would hesitate. I tell them, hit me. Do not look at my name. If you hesitate, you lose. That is the truth of this sport. Turning back to the subject of Inoue, Akhmadaliev's tone sharpened. When you face a man like him, you cannot bow in your heart. You must believe that his blood runs the same color as yours. He paused, letting the silence underline his conviction. Respect can be polite, but never let it become surrender. Reporters scribbled furiously as he continued. I see young fighters watching his highlights, memorizing his knockouts. Good, study him, but remember your own weapons. Remember why you fight. The former champion's voice lowered to a near growl. Do not take your eyes off your goal. The belt, the victory, that is what matters. He spoke of nights in Tashkent, of long runs before sunrise when the city still slept. I trained to win, not to admire, he said. Every mile was a promise to myself. Akhmadaliev recounted the lessons of his early coach, a stern man who taught that respect ends when the bell rings. My coach would say, shake his hand before, shake his hand after, but in between, he is only an obstacle. The boxer's gaze drifted to the back of the room as if seeing the long path of his career. I have faced world champions. I have bled and I have triumphed. I did not come this far to bow to anyone's reputation. He took a breath, measured and deliberate. Naoya Inoue is great, but greatness is not a shield. It does not make him untouchable. Akhmadaliev's fists tightened as he spoke. Every man can be hurt. Every man can be beaten. That is the truth fighters carry into the ring. He dismissed the notion that his words were mere bravado. This is not trash talk, he said firmly. This is the mindset of survival. You lose it, you lose everything. The press conference room fell quiet again, the hum of cameras the only sound. Do not worship your opponent, he repeated. Fight him. He described the mental trap of watching highlights, of letting the crowd's awe seep into your bones. That is how you are defeated before the first bell, he warned. For Akhmadaliev, the path back to a world title begins not with training camps or strategy, but with mindset. The heart must be hard, he said. The mind must be clear. He spoke of the younger generation of Uzbek fighters, urging them to carry themselves with dignity but never deference. You respect the craft, he said. You do not kneel to another man's legend. As the questions continued, Akhmadaliev remained composed, repeating the core message like a mantra. Respect is earned, he said. Fear is chosen. I choose neither when the gloves are on. He recalled the night he first won a world title, the roar of the crowd, the taste of victory that still fuels his ambition. That feeling, he said softly, is greater than any opponent's reputation. He looked directly into the cameras, addressing not just reporters but every fighter watching. Do not let the lights blind you. Do not let the name intimidate you. Focus on the goal. His voice carried the authority of experience. Inoue is a man, a skilled, dangerous man, but still a man. The message was clear, unwavering. You fight to win, Akhmadaliev concluded. Nothing else matters. He gathered his notes, but there were no more notes to read. The statement had already been delivered with the force of a well-timed combination. Outside, the buzz of Tokyo traffic echoed through the windows, but inside, the words lingered. They were not just a challenge to Naoya Inoue. They were a warning to every fighter who confuses admiration with preparation. In Akhmadaliev's world, the fight is sacred, but no opponent is a god. The cameras clicked one last time as he left the stage, his silhouette framed by the stark light of the hallway. The message remained in the air: respect the sport, but never, ever surrender to a name. And with that, the former champion walked away, ready for the next bell, his eyes fixed firmly on the goal that no legend could eclipse.